All right, good evening, everyone. This is the new moon in Gemini on May 22nd, 2020. Super excited to do this reading for the general populace. So, first, I'll start. I'm going to burn some incense. I have Ujari frankincense that I carry straight from Oman in the Middle East at the base of the frankincense trail. Super high grade. I'll do a whole video on that. And I also have pure 100% white copal from Oaxaca, Mexico. So I also have that available. Message me for details on that. So this is frankincense. For the goddess. All right. So this new moon's pretty crazy. Lots of Gemini energy. Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, is in Gemini. Venus is retrograding through Gemini. We have the sun and the moon are both in Gemini. And so that's Gemini rules our mind and how we think. Very unbiased sign when it comes to the quest for truth and knowledge. So let's see what the cards have to say, also aligning with what's going on in the stars. All right, give it a little shuffle. Okay, so we got all the cards placed. All right, this first triad right here, this represents the querent, or us, since this is a general reading for humanity as a whole. And this one represents our current trajectory. This is the second triad. This third triad right here is an alternative path. This is our internal influences and our external influences. So let's begin. So the first card, the middle card representing us, is 6 of discs or coins in some decks, and it's the moon in Taurus. So this represents success in the material domain. 6 is in the tree of life, it is Teferet, which is beauty, and it's the most balanced Sephiroth. So this is 6 when it comes to discs and coins. So coins represent your earthly aspects, your job, finances, housing, and stuff like that. So let's see. Now next to it is the sun. This is a major arcana card, and the sun represents our individuality and our expression and true authenticity. Just providing so much for yourself that you can provide for everyone around you in your own authentic light. And this is the Empress. So the Empress represents the moon. The Empress represents Venus, which is the feminine, divine feminine, and our relationships to others and our connection to others. So we see that the sun is a fire card, and so this it doesn't demean this, but it actually brings more power to the center card. So it's maybe material success using our own individual self-expressions and art. And next to Venus, to me, it represents using whatever your art or creation or your true authentic nature um, uh, for others, to be of service to others and connection to others. Will is help building a financial and a material stability in your life, and um, creating a job of your dreams, basically. So let's move to the next triad. So the center card right there is the 10 of discs. And like I said, discs represent, or coins represent, your material life, your job, finances, stuff like that. And this is 10 is completion, the absolute completion. Basically 9 is completion, 10 is the cleanup, harvesting the fruits of your labor. So this represents material wealth, as well as the coins on this card have all the planetary and esoteric symbols. So wealth of knowledge that is accumulated. So this is the Two of Swords right next to it, and that's the moon in Libra. So balance of the mind and emotions. As you can see, there's a flower, which is the divine feminine, holding together two swords, which is the masculine, created by human. And the swords represent your mind and the element of air. It's represented by the swords because the swords are a weapon and a tool. It can be used to cut through to clarity, or it can harm you if not used correctly or not known how to use it. So next to it is the Seven of Swords, which is the moon in Aquarius. And this um, this card represents that feeling of futility or pointlessness, something that's like what's the point of even going further? There's no point. This feeling like depression or just like unmotivation. So since the center card is the disc's wealth, and these two air cards are the opposing element right next to it, it seems that there might be some sort of mental block that is preventing this material wealth to come into our lives. So to like remove that mental block and come to terms with it, whatever that may be, that's stopping us from living out our dreams and manifesting the abundance that we know we deserve. And then our alternative trajectory. So we have the Eon, which represents fire. This is the Judgment card, and it's in some decks, and it's a time of reckoning, a time to calculate everything in your life that needs to go and everything that must go further with to achieve the goals that are needed or wanted or dreamed of. So right next to that is the Fool card, which is air, and it's the beginning. It's like starting a totally new adventure, like a child's mindset. But it heeds a warning as the lion is gnawing at his side. It reminds us to take precautions, and it's great to have that full um, childlike sense of wonder when starting something, but know that for every new path, there's new challenges. So on this side, it's the Five of Discs, and 5 in the Tree of Life represent Gabura, and it's change, or change isn't always bad, but this card, Steeken, is Mercury and Taurus, and this represents worrying of the material realm and worrying about finances. So I see here it's this time where we are at a point where we have to make a choice and we have to decide what goes and what comes. And there seems to be some hesitation with this path, maybe a worry that this new path won't provide for us in wealth, but the way we're headed is also blocking wealth. So there needs to be this change of our mindsets. There needs to be this different way of thinking, or else we're doomed to repeat the same mistakes and the same patterns as a collective. So let's see our internal influences. This is the card number 13 in the major arcana, and it represents death. And it never really represents physical death, but it represents Scorpio. And the Scorpio energies are complete transformation. Think of that time of the year, Halloween, stuff like that. It's when everything starts to die to set in the winter. So the internal world, some drastic change is happening within the internal influences. All the old is dying. Next to it, we have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant represents Taurus, and it's a great teacher, a whole learning lesson of knowledge, like a new form of thinking, and as in getting taught lessons or finding a teacher or something very valuable when it comes to wisdom. Next to that is the Princess of Swords. So, like I said, swords represent the mind and air, and the princesses represent earth. So, the earthly aspect of air. So, it's when the mind comes into the material realm. So, bringing down a thought or an idea into the material realm. As you see, she's standing on top of this rubble. Obviously, this battle has come to an end and she has triumphed, but the dust is still settling. So this middle card, something's dying. This new information, this lessons we're learning is causing this complete transformation and coming into this new form right here, this new person, something we've always wanted to be. And this right here is our external influences. So we have the King of Swords, or Knight of Swords in this deck, but the kings represent fire and the swords represent air. So fire is your passion and energy levels and creativity and inspiration, and swords are the mind. So this is taking fiery creative energy and focusing it. He's very much focused and swift, like pointing towards one direction, not scattering the energy and just going straight towards whatever his goal is and not losing concentration. Next to that, we have the Six of Cups, which is the Sun in Scorpio. Sun is individuality, and Scorpio's like complete change. And 6, again, is Teferet. So this is pleasure, like emotional pleasure, and filling our cups in a beautiful way. Whatever comes from the change, whatever's focused on is bringing us great pleasure and joy, and in our emotional sections, because cups represent emotions. It's the water influence. It's your connections with others and everything that's really, really important. It's all important, but definitely to have emotional intelligence is just as important as mental intelligence. And right now, in my opinion, it's very much more important to understand emotions and have emotional intelligence in this time. So again, another water card. We have the Queen of Cups, or I'm sorry, this is the Princess of Cups, and it's the princess again is Earth, and cups are water, and that is your Earth is your finances and housing, and cups are your emotions and your connections to others. And she's she's acting as water does, so manifesting your emotions into a grounded, stable place. And she's acting as water and providing life for all these creatures she's holding, and giving uh, without seeking any return, just knowing that giving love and care to others is free and it will return tenfold. So this is very much like bringing in your emotions into a stable place and focusing on them and learning how to channel them and balance them with the mind. Like up here seems to be the only way we're going to manifest what we want as a collective, is to balance our mind and emotions. So there's a lot of major arcanas in this spread right now, and it's a very powerful reading. Seems to be a lot of emphasis on the internal world, because these major arcanas right here, and also the alternative path. So I would connect these because it seems like if we do this internal work, then whatever we become new, what we rise from, is this new path where we have came to a point of judgment to release all of and let die what needs to die and take with us what needs to take with us. And that will seemingly in this process of this old pattern of maybe getting far enough in something and then giving up because you deem it pointless. And so the external factors are very much like self-focused too. It would make sense with this worldwide quarantine and just this lockdown, that something needs to be focused with community and others and emotions. So where we're at is very much it's time of self-expression, and now it's the time to make a living off what you love to do. It's perfect time. We all have the time to work on ourselves right now, and many of us are finally taking the step to provide our service, our true authentic love and service and art to others, and that in turn will come back to us. But there is this worry right here that it won't provide, and we need to let that fear go, or else we'll just keep in this pattern, which is still a lack because of our mind. We won't allow ourselves to gain the abundance we need because we feel maybe we're not good enough, or you're not ready. And this hits home for me because it's the new moon in Gemini. I'm a Gemini moon, and I've wanted to launch this channel for a long time, and I'm very excited to have finally done it. And this is my first reading, and I really enjoyed it. And if you would like a personal reading, please message me, like, subscribe, and share my videos. If you're interested in the incense, message me as well. I really look forward to posting more videos. I'll do so many more videos to come, so stay tuned. And yeah, thank you for everything you've done. May Jupiter shine much fortune upon you, and may you find your fortune from within. Thank you.